Christmas, everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, December 24th, 2017. I am in full-on Christmas baking mode. I have got chocolate chip cookies. I have got Italian seasoned pretzels. I have got Oreo white chocolate popcorn. I've got bacon cheddar cornbread. I am just fully embracing food. My oven is on. It's just a good time of year to just enjoy it, to just go with it. So anyway, I've got a lot to do today. I thought I would just pop on and do a quick audio update. It's just the holidays are a little bit crazy, and I wanted to make sure that I had a chance to chat, but it's probably going to be a quick one. We'll see how it goes. You know me, I always say I'm going to just do a quick chat and then flash forward to an hour later and I'm still going. But no, I gotta make it quick today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed all of the Christmas decor this week. I mean, everything has been decorated so beautifully. The mantles, the greenery, the shining lights, the florals. Everything on the show looked so beautiful. We had some new exterior shots of the snow. I think Y&R has done a lovely job this year of capturing the Christmas, we'll say spirit, or at least the Christmas decor, even if some of the spirits were dashed. I thought it was a wonderful Merry Christmas to the viewers to get to see Jill return to town. Miss Jill Foster, Abbott, Atkinson, a Fenmore at one point? It's always good to see her face. She was looking tight. Oh Lord, she said, honey, let's stop on the way to the studio. I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna get myself a little Botox. And I'm gonna let this face shimmer and shine. And yes, she did. She was glowing. She seemed happy. And in fact, she seemed like she had a new lease on life. Jill comes back to the Chancellor Mansion to tell Kane that despite the fact he's been running the company so well and returning all this profit and making all of these new acquisitions and moves, she would like to sell Chancellor. She thinks now is the time to get out. She wants to sell the company and use the money to make the world a better place. She's feeling that she wants to pursue her philanthropic interests, which makes sense from a human point of view. I could see that. I could see her having that attitude toward the world now. I mean, life is short, and she wants to help people, but it completely throws a wrench into any of Kane's plans. He was really enjoying being the top dog at that company, and the second word gets out about it potentially being on the market, who decides to sniff around? Jack. Jack thinks, really? Chancellor's going to be potentially up for sale? I'm just going to go directly to Jill. I'm going to make a bid for this company. It's something that would be somehow appropriate, he sees, since Jabot was once a subsidiary of Chancellor. He'd love to have this feather in his cap, the ability to buy it. Well, Jill seemed very receptive to the idea. She took his bid on one of Esther's Christmas napkins, and she seemed like she was ready to make a decision in possibly his favor. But when Ashley finds out that Jack has made this major purchase without discussing it with the board or the family or anyone else, she decides to call an emergency board meeting to stop it. It wasn't even just, let's stop the acquisition of this company. Ashley wants to let the board decide if they even have enough confidence in Jack as a CEO at all. She really uses this chancellor thing as an excuse to try to kick him out of his job. I did enjoy seeing the new Jabot boardroom set. Did you guys appreciate that? That has got to be a signal of things to come. The fact that we got a new set. I think we're going to find ourselves in that Jabot boardroom quite a bit over the course of the next few weeks, maybe months. We are definitely in for a knockdown, drag out when it comes to that company. And with the family, it was a little bit difficult to watch how everyone was it was really caught right in the middle of this developing war between Jack and Ashley. They're just two different people with two different ideas about how the company should be run. And there was a really good sequence showing Jack and Ashley separately approaching all of the different board members, making their pitches, and I think they both made legitimate points to everyone. There's, I think, a little bit of jealousy between them. I think there is a lot that's going into it that's not just family related, that's not just business related. I think they're bringing in a lot of feelings that that Jack and Ashley have had for each other over the years. Jack decides he has a little trick up his sleeve for making sure that this vote goes the way he wants it to. He decides at the very last minute to appoint a new board member, one who he knows is going to vote in his favor. He gives Phyllis a seat on the board. I thought that was a really interesting choice, possibly even a dangerous choice. Jack didn't want Phyllis anywhere near his company just even a year ago. Didn't he try to get her out of Jabot? He put her in the basement. He had her working in an office near the ladies' room or something. I mean, he really has developed a closeness with Phyllis over the course of the last couple of months, and I think it's a little bit dangerous to put her on the board. She might not always do what he wants her to do. Phyllis has her own mind. However, in this situation, he knows for sure that she's going to go along with him, that she's going to be a vote in his favor. So the entire board gathers at Jabot, Phyllis, the new member. Then, of course, you have the family, Tracy and Abby, Billy, Ashley, and I think that was, plus Lauren. And there was some other guy at the end of the table. Maybe he was taking notes or something. It took me a minute. I was trying to figure out who that was. Maybe he was the note taker or something. Well, they have a discussion of the pros and cons. Jack takes an opportunity to stand up, make his case. Ashley takes an opportunity to stand up, make her case. And in the end, they decide, you know what, we've had enough talk. Let's just let the board decide. It's time to vote. And that's where you come in, Y&R Chatters. It's your turn to vote. You're the board members of Y&R Chat. I would like you to go to yrchat.com and give me your board vote. Jack Abbott, CEO, Jabot Cosmetics. Do you have confidence or no confidence in Jack at this point? I really want to know where you guys were falling on that debate as everybody is weighing the pros and cons, going around the table, giving their vote. Where are you hoping that the votes will fall? Confidence in Jack or no confidence? yrchat.com. I'd love to get some discussion going around that and to see how those votes pan out. For the board members of Jabot, it turned out to be a tie. There were 3 votes for, 3 votes against. I thought it was worth noting that Lauren and Phyllis and Tracy all voted in Jack's favor. Leave the man where he is. He knows what he's doing. It was Ashley, Billy, and Abby who all voted against Jack. I think those were somewhat, I suppose, predictable party lines to fall down. But there is one board member who is missing. Jack's son, Kyle, apparently has a seat on the board, and rather than attend in the meeting, he decides to courier in his vote, which Gloria reads after the tie break, after it has become a tie. She comes in, reads Kyle's vote, and Kyle votes no confidence in his father. Like, what? I knew I didn't like Kyle. There's been something about the Kyle that I just have not been able to bond with, and now I like him even less. What does he even know? He is not involved in any of the business that's going on at Jabot, and yet he just decides to undermine his father for reasons unknown. I didn't think that Jack and Kyle had a negative relationship. It might not be the best, but I never have gotten a sense that Jack and his son don't get along, so what the heck happened? I don't know. He was the tie-breaking vote that got Jack removed from his job. It really has created kind of an interesting fracture in the family, though. Jack ends up confiding in Phyllis that he feels like this is him failing on a number of levels. He feels like he's failing at Jabot. This is the board telling him. He's being told to his face that he's no longer good for the company that he cares so much about. He feels like he's failing at being a father to his own son. He feels like he's failing at being a son to his mother. And, even last week when Dana made that comment about John being disappointed in him, I think Jack has always felt that he's failed in being a son to his father. So this is really taken Jack down to his core. Phyllis does a good job of trying to reassure him. She has been his confidant through this. She is encouraging him to fight for his place at his company. And to me, I do think it really kind of is Jack's company at this point. Isn't it? For better or for worse, Jabot is Jack, and Jack is Jabot. It seems kind of cruel to kick him out at this point. I think, I hate to say it, but I do think that this has kind of cast Ashley in an unflattering light. I agree that Jack is not being realistic about his work from home situation, but as she's said, I think de-seating him from the board kind of makes her look like she's punishing him for taking care of their mother. She said that. She had a conversation after the vote with Billy where she had enough self-awareness to say she understands that's how it might look. And is that how it is? Maybe that is how it is. I think that Ashley could have handled this so much better. I think the family on a whole could have handled all of this so much better. It's caused a disruption and just an inability for the family to really come together, even to enjoy Christmas. It also puts Billy and Phyllis on opposite sides of this debate. I like that, though. I like that. I've really enjoyed seeing Billy and Phyllis not on the same side, but yet finding a way to navigate that successfully. And I would like to continue to see them find a way to navigate it successfully, because it's been charming. It's had a lot of personality. I like that they're in the boardroom trying to conduct serious business, and yet they're texting back and forth, sexy texting back and forth. It's just been really enjoyable to watch. I hope that we're not going to see jealousy or anything like that come between them. I don't want Billy to be jealous of how much time Phyllis is spending with Jack or anything like that. So far, I think Billy and Phyllis are doing a good job. I liked seeing them split duties for Christmas, by the way. Phyllis went to the Abbotts, kind of told Billy she'll keep his seat warm while Billy goes to have Christmas with his mom. And I liked that the whole thing, it was the Billy and Phyllis's Christmas adventure was bookended. It began with, Billy coming into the scene in his Christmas underwear, looking for his dry cleaning. Phyllis coming down the stairs in her sexy red negligee robe. I mean, they both just looked so cute. And then at the end of their Christmas adventure, they were coming back together by the fireplace and just enjoying one another. And so Billy and Phyllis are adding a really nice layer of intrigue and sexiness and comedy to the background of the fundamental family drama. I mean, Ashley and Jack made sure that the Abbott family Christmas was as tense as possible. I mean, I don't think they wanted to, but you just can't ignore the elephant in the room. Ashley has just made sure that Jack got kicked out of their family company. That's a big deal. And Ashley thinks that they're just going to go about their Christmas like nothing happened. No way. I mean, they were quipping at every chance. I mean, Jack asked Ashley if would she like to have his chair at the table. I mean, he usually sits at the head of the table, just like he's usually the head of Jabot. Maybe she'd like to have his place at the meal table, too. It was awkward having to watch everybody else be in the middle of this clear drama. And Dina also is not aware of what's gone on. I felt terrible for her, having this moment of realizing that that her illness is playing a part in the tension. And of course, it's not her fault in any way, but I could understand why she felt that she was inadvertently causing problems in the family. The whole Abbott Christmas, it was, the house looked so beautiful. All of the pieces of a happy family memory in the making were there, but the relationships are fractured, and it ends up just breaking up and everybody going off on their separate ways. Phyllis and Hilary were still sitting at the table waiting for their food. They were like, somebody bring me a bacon cheddar corn muffin. I'm ready for that. I want my turkey. Jack ends up going off to the top of the tower. And Phyllis bumps into him there, of course, gives him another pep talk. She's encouraging him to try to think about what his next move is going to be and try to make sure that it's on brand with family togetherness. She tries to encourage him to make the right decision that will get him what he wants, but also keep the peace. Yet, Jack made some little comment about taking out the big guns, and as soon as that phrase left his lips, like indicating that he has a card to play, I knew what it was, and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So when he gets home, Ashley is at the house. She has had a conversation with Dina where Dina's encouraging her to try to keep the peace. So Ashley tries to broach the topic again with Jack, tries to extend the olive branch, and it's just impossible at this point. Jack knows that Ashley's vying for that CEO position, and he's not going to let her just take it from him. He tells her he has one more trump card to play. And this is probably, by the way, a trump card that he has had for a long time and that he has known that he has for a long time. He has had a clause written into the company bylaws that states that only a blood Abbott can serve as CEO of the company. She immediately was like, you bastard. You bastard. And he said to her, I assure you, Ashley, this clause is legitimate, unlike you. Man, I mean, it was that. Do you think that was too far? I don't know. Did she force his hand? Jack has always been the one to tell Ashley that blood doesn't matter. She's John Abbott's daughter. He's always been the one that was singing that tune and reassuring her. And much like Dina found Jack's weak spot last week, telling him that he was always a disappointment to John, this is Ashley's weak spot. This is something that she has always struggled with, knowing that John's not her biological father. She has tried so hard to feel like an Abbott, but knowing in the back of her mind that she isn't. And I don't know. Do you guys think that that was too much? Did she force Jack's hand? Is there not a way that these two could have worked it out without that? I don't know, you guys. I kind of feel, I just feel like, I don't think it was right that Jack jumped right to that. I wish he would have given another chance to work it all out peacefully. I wish that the family, of course this would not be interesting, but the family should have had a couple more conversations with each other. They should have tried peace before going to war. I mean, I think Jack deserved another chance to make things right at Jabot before getting kicked out of the company. They didn't bring to him these problems and give him a chance to correct it. They just called an emergency board meeting twice now, and Ashley's tried to have him kicked out of the company. Like I said, I think that Jack is not being realistic about running Jabot from his living room, but at the same time, I think that there could have been more conversations and more gentle ways that Ashley could have approached that to help Jack see that on his own, as opposed to playing her trump card. So at this point, that is kind of what's happened. Ashley's played the most powerful card that she has, and Jack has played the most powerful card that he has. And now it's just, we're left to, you know, with the wreckage of all of this. The family wreckage of all of this. So I don't know what's going to happen to the family. I don't know what's going to happen to the company. If Ashley can't be the CEO, Jack's still been de-seated. So who does that leave? Billy? Maybe part of the reason that I'm less sympathetic toward Ashley this week than I maybe normally would be is the fact that she broke up with Ravi, like right there in the Jabot waiting room. She totally just bumped into him in the hall and was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're not boyfriend-girlfriend anymore. My heart absolutely broke for him in a million pieces. I watched that scene and I was hurting for him. Ravi tells Ashley that he wants to surprise her with a Hawaiian vacation for Christmas, and instead he got dumped. Oh gosh. Oh, Ravi, why don't you come on over to my house? I'll make sure you got some snacks. I will feed your sorrow. I suppose we should have seen this coming. I mean, Ashley disinvited him to their Thanksgiving. She's been distancing herself from him. All she wants to do is have sexy time with him. And I give her a little bit of credit for at least realizing it, that she had the presence of mind to know that what she was doing with him wasn't right. It was just incredibly painful to hear her be so honest with him. She didn't lie. She said, I think I was just using you as a distraction from everything that's going on in my life. I think I was just using you, and I've enjoyed the attention that you've given to me. Oh, I mean, it's all true, but there was no, I mean, I think she was trying to soften the blow, but there's no magic pillow that's going to soften that enough. I mean, anything that he was feeling for her was simply not reciprocated. And I mean, who hasn't been in that situation? Everybody has an unrequited love story, and that's his, and my heart just breaks for him. I he's kind of coming off as just too wimpy also, though. And like in the fact that she said to him, well, do you think maybe you might just take Victoria's offer? She apparently decides that it would be okay. She decides it would be okay if Ravi decided to go work at Newman instead of staying at Jabot. She gives him the choice and then asks him 5 minutes later what he's going to do. And he says, well, I think I will stay at Jabot. I still really like working for you. What a great guy. I mean, what a sweet guy. Sometimes we just don't see that, the great person that's right in front of our face. We want zazz and sparkle, and we want, like, you know, I mean, sometimes you want something that's like super exciting. Well, the good guy, the nice guy is just over there waving in the corner, and I think that's what's happened here. And I feel sorry for Ravi. Why is he deciding to stay there? I wanted Ravi to quit. I wanted him to decide to go to Newman or to find another job. Instead, he is probably just going to be shuffled off into the shadows of the Jabot basement somewhere. Nikki tells Kevin to pack his bags, get Bella, and get out of town. The heat is on. The feds know what we did with stealing that money from Victor, and we gotta get out of here. Well, she tells Kevin to get on out of here. She decides to try to, with Victoria, make a plea to JT personally. Please, please, please don't tell the cops what I did. She gives her version of the story, which was very unflattering to Victor, by the way, and it made her very victimized in her version of the story. I don't know if I was completely following Nikki's version of events there, but I understand she was doing her best to save herself, and also it would kind of be nice if maybe JT, you didn't send your son's grandmother to jail. But JT tells Nikki the same thing that he told Victoria: I am not going to cover for you. And then just a little bit later, much to Victor and Victoria's surprise, they receive a phone call from Christine. JT has reported that the anomaly in Victor's bank account was a bank error. After all. Oh, okay, good. Well, that's... We really needed to bring an investigator in from Poland to figure that out. Unfortunately for Nikki, this information that she's been cleared of the charges came about 30 seconds after Victoria told Victor that Nikki was the real culprit. So Nikki's off the hook, but Victor wants to make sure he's the one to convey that little tidbit to her. He wants to make sure he's the one who knows that information. That son of a gun sets up this fancy dinner at the ranch and invites her to come. He's got candles flickering. He's got a single red rose with a bow on it. He's got a sentimental shawl for her from a vacation they took once together, a romantic rendezvous they once had. And he's putting out all of the Victor Newman romance stops and telling her that he knows what she did. He knows that she was the one that stole this money from him. And he can make the charges go away. Poof. Because he's Victor Newman. But the condition is she would have to come back to the ranch and live with him and have a relationship with him that was on his terms. Why? Why, Victor? Why would you even want a hostage wife? Why is the Newman name so important to you? That you would want to blackmail her into being your arm candy? It's like, he is so twisted. He loves her. I know he loves her. But his version of love is so selfish. It's just so results oriented. It doesn't matter what anybody else feels. It only matters what he gets. And furthermore, I don't understand why she would agree to it. She does. She says, okay, fine. I'd rather, if the choice is me being in prison in a hideous orange jumpsuit or me living at my house, which I love, and having the title of Mrs. Victor Newman, which I also secretly love and am not a victim of any way, then I'll choose my old life. Why not? I forgot. I want to make sure I mentioned that at the end of that dinner sequence, there was this beautiful shot from above the dinner table where Nikki and Victor are on opposite sides of the table, and it's literally showing from the ceiling looking down onto the beautifully set table. And I thought that did a wonderful job of demonstrating the distance between these two. It's like these two people at the opposite ends of this really ridiculously long table. I mean, they've got a lot of work to do to actually come together and make that relationship work. By the way, they also did a similar shot during the Abbott Christmas meal, a shot from the ceiling looking down onto the dinner table. I do think that was a very nice touch and I enjoyed it. So the next day, Nikki shows up at the ranch with her bags, completely acquiescing to what Victor has asked. She hasn't been able to connect with Victoria. Victor has rushed Victoria out of town. He's had an emergency trip to Hong Kong so that Nikki couldn't touch base with Victoria and connect the dots that this is all a lie. And so she's there. They're going over the terms of their new agreement. And Victor mentions, hey, by the way, that money you stole from me, can I get that back? And Nikki just looks at him and says, I can't give it back to you. I spent it. And Victor says, I was a small fortune. On what? What did you buy? I bought a park. Just excellent. Excellent little twist. I never saw it coming. I know I've been hard on Mr. Mal Young, but I'm going to give him a big old gold star for that one. I was delighted. Nikki stole Victor's money to buy that park right out from under him. Bravo. That was nice. That was a nice little twist. And presumably, Nikki is going to restore that park to its amazing honor of Catherine Chancellor. I thought that was just great. But of course, finally, Victoria's bound to come back in town. Victor knows she's going to figure this out sooner or later. Victoria comes back to town. Nikki and Victoria are able to connect. Victoria helps Nikki piece together the puzzle. And Nikki learns the truth about Victor's millionth manipulation. This is like the millionth manipulation. There should be a confetti bomb or something that happens in the room. Come on. Of course it was a manipulation, and Nikki confronts him, and yet they both still kind of agree to stay together. I don't know. These two people, it's hard. It's a little hard for me to understand. I guess they just decided, you know what, we've each got enough ammo on each other to start a world war, so why not just cohabitate? Our relationship is mutually beneficial. How romantic. The thing that's puzzling me is that Paul and Christine are continuing to push Nikki to provide information on Victor that will incriminate him. Paul and Christine are still assuming that Victor's behind the sex ring. They're not getting anywhere. He's been cleared. I think we need to drop this sex ring investigation. I need to never talk about this sex ring again. Or if you want to pursue prosecuting Victor, surely he's done something else illegal that you can pin on him instead. Victoria has paired Abby and Scott together again for a business project. You know, typically people conduct business at the office, but for two people trying to keep it professional, they sure have no problem meeting all over town. They're meeting at the Chancellor Park Cafe, they're meeting at the athletic club. These two people can't seem to stay away from each other. If I was trying to keep it pro with someone, these meetings would be happening in an office with a secretary taking notes. They would be quick. There would not be more excuses to be personable. But at home, Scott still goes home to Sharon. He's having these all over town with Abby, but he still goes home to Sharon, where things are very chilly between him and Mariah. Of course, Mariah now knows his secret, and now they're both keeping it. That's the interesting part, I think, for me, is the fact that Scott has now made Mariah has chosen to be complicit in Scott's lie and his secret, but she also doesn't know the part of the secret that he slept with Abby. We are, as the audience, I think, are the only ones that know that. So I am going to assume that Mariah thinks it was just a kiss, and maybe that's influencing her decision. I don't know. But they do talk a little bit about it, try to diffuse the awkwardness between them, and Mariah tells Scott Sharon deserves to be happy, and I think that we both need to do everything we can to keep Sharon happy. Mariah even encourages Scott to make sure that Sharon has something expensive and shiny under the tree this Christmas. I wish she wouldn't have said that. Because following up on that conversation they had a couple of weeks ago, something expensive and something shiny is an engagement ring. And I am so afraid that he is going to freak out and propose to Sharon this Christmas. Abby's freaking out too. She's on her own freak out path. At this point, I think Abby is incredibly gun shy when it comes to men. She doesn't have the best track record, let's be honest. There was a scene where Abby was with JT at the bar, and they were both getting along really well. I was kind of into it. I thought, oh, this is fun. These two people, I don't really remember them having a relationship, but they seem to be getting along very well. And he says, hey, you know what? Let's go out on the town. Let's go check out some places. This is my last night in Genoa City. And she freaks out on him. She thinks that he's hitting on her. And I didn't get that vibe. I didn't necessarily get married man tired, wants to go back to his hotel room and get some rest for the flight the international flight he's got to take tomorrow. But I certainly didn't get the vibe that he wanted to hook up with her or something. Did you? I really want to know how you guys read that scene. How did you read JT's behavior? Because when Abby stands up and says, how dare you hit on me, girl? How you're married. That's so inappropriate. I thought, whoa, I didn't get that at all. But maybe you did. Abby storms out, runs into Victoria on the way out, tells Victoria the vibe she just got from JT, that he was hitting on her. And Victoria goes to sit down with JT, follows up with some questions, and ding, 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 he reveals that things are not quite so ideal with Mac as he led us to believe last week. The truth is, JT and Mac are separated. She moved back to Washington, D.C. He lost his job, so he's just floating around. He's really got no reason to stay in Poland, and it sounds like he's not really welcome in D.C. with Mac and the kids. I don't know. Did he cheat or something? I wonder if there's more to it, because why else would she just not even want him around right now? But yeah, I don't know. He's kind of floating around. He tells Victoria that he misses his family. He misses his kids. So Victoria invites him to stick around for Christmas and probably New Year, probably Valentine's Day, and hey, Easter's just around the corner. Aw, Hilary is Santa's little elf this week. She's bringing gifts to Devon's toy drive. They had a curious little moment under the mistletoe. Oh, I am looking forward to Hilary and Devon's journey back together. I liked them this week. I liked her this week. I liked that she was hanging out at the Chancellor Mansion with Kane, and the fact that they were talking about their friendship and how unlikely it is. She feels guilty for being involved with the Juliet thing, which led to breaking up of Lily and Kane's marriage. She's going all the way back to when she first came into town, feeling guilty about the fact that she was trying to set up some compromising photos of him to break up his marriage. So she even said, I feel like I've just tried to been on a path of breaking up your marriage ever since I came into town. And he absolves her of that and said, you know what, you've also been here for me. I'm enjoying our friendship. And Hilary even established with Lily a little bit later that she doesn't want Kane. She just likes having a friend. And she likes babies, apparently. So I think this is a good friendship that I'm enjoying. I think Y&R is doing a good job of bringing Hilary back this week. I did like her very much. And in all fairness, Hilary is not Lily and Kane's problem. There's just not a lot of communication going on between Lily and Kane right now. And every time they try, something gets in the way. Charlie tried to give them a little push in the right direction. He set up presents to each other. So he gave Kane a present that said it was from Lily, but it was not from Lily. It was a little baby blanket. And then he gave a present to Lily that said was supposedly from Kane, but was actually a book of Paris. He said it's the parent trap. Trying to get his parents back together. It was adorable. I like Charlie so much. He's not even the only one. It seems like everyone in the family is trying to help Lily and Kane get back together. They gotta help themselves here at some point. On the show Friday, it started out with Kane at the Chancellor house doing that whole Christmas togetherness with Charlie and his mom, and Lily was just at the club with Devon and Maddie. And I kept thinking from the jump on Friday's episode, why are these Christmases split? Like, why are they not in the same place? Anyway, Lily and Kane aren't on bad terms. They still share children. They should be together if they can be together, even just to be nicey nice. And a little nudging made that happen. Our week ended with Lily and Kane embracing with a Christmas hug. The family was reunited for at least a night, and Tessa pops out from behind a plant with her lovely acoustic rendition of Joy to the World. Mary Ann was kind enough to send me a message with our Y&R holiday viewing schedule. So for once, courtesy of Mary Ann, I can actually tell you when Y&R will air during the next week or so. Monday. So tomorrow will be a new episode of Y&R. This article says that we're gonna get the true meaning of Christmas, unexpected surprises, and of course, a visit from the ghost of Christmas past. So that's fun. Monday, December 25th, we're actually getting a new episode. I'm very excited about that. I can't wait. Now, the following Friday, December 29th, there will be no show. So we're getting a Monday show, but no Friday show. And then Monday will be a repeat. Let's see, drama unfolded at Nikki's benefit concert. So that'll be the benefit concert episode, which was very beautiful. So that would be a fun one to watch again, or worth watching again. So that's not bad. I mean, for Christmas and New Year's, they do a good job of keeping that schedule on and keeping these episodes going. And I never want to fail to mention that. So that's a Merry Christmas to us. We're really only missing, two episodes of Y&R. I think that's pretty good. Teamwork makes the dream work. I've got to remember to use that line. It was last week's Who Said It quote. Mariah allowed that sentence to pass through her lips. Teamwork makes the dream work. She was with Faith sign creating, doing some signs for Nick's Chancellor Park rally, and it was oddly chipper for her. I think that's why the line jumped out at me. 7 people got that one correct, including Diana, Nancy, Ambreen, Jamie, Sandra, and Henry. Congratulations, you guys. I got a new one for ya. I think it's kind of holiday appropriate. Martha Stewart's got nothing on me. Who do you think said it? If you know, you can go to yrchat.com to leave your guess. And if you get it right, I'll give you your shout out on next week's Y&R Chat. Okay, everybody, I really need to start wrapping it up. Get it? It's a Christmas pun. All of my gifts went into gift bags this year due to the fact that I have no time to wrap gifts at this point. I'm like, shove it in a bag, put some tissue paper in it, looks great. Oh, well, I also have to mention that yrchat.com this week is a great place for you to leave your comments normally, but unfortunately the website has been having some technical issues. I don't know what it is. It's a server side woogada. It's beyond my technical knowledge, but I called the hosting company and they're working on it. It's been up, it's been down. Hopefully it's up right now so that you can go to the site and leave me your comments. Watch, I'll finish recording this and I'll go to post it and the site will be down. It could be down as we speak. I don't know. But hopefully all of that will be resolved by the time you're hearing this. And I do apologize for the inconvenience. I know you guys are loving leaving me comments. I'm reading comments that I did receive. Oh, I should say also, I think the majority of people voted that they were liking the Y&R intro recaps, but I did get some good comments. Speaking of comments, that people said I like the recaps. I don't watch every episode, so it's helpful to me to have that little bit of a refresher on the beginning of episode. To be honest with you, I've been kind of zoning out. I'm still a little bitter about it. Not as bitter as I was last week. They're fine, I guess, but I miss my previews. I know the majority of you guys felt like that too. The thing is, I'm just gonna say this, and then I'm gonna be done with it. If it was a weekly show, the recap, I think I can see it being a little bit more necessary, but it's a daily show. You know, I mean, like, I get it. I know what I just watched. It was a day ago. But then again, some people need their recaps. But that's what Y&R Chat is for. You gotta get your recaps from Y&R Chat. See, it's kind of stepping on my toes, these recaps. It's trying to take over my job. I'm just zoning them out. I'm just gonna, you know what? If I don't like it, I'm just gonna not pay attention to it. And so that's what I'm doing. But anyway, I did get what comments I do have. I did read, but I didn't collate them because my oven is on. So I got to be focused on that just for today. I'll be back to next week though, and we'll have a full Y&R chat with video and comments and all that good stuff. I hope that everybody has a very Merry Christmas. This will be next week will be our last chat for the year. So we'll come back and we'll do our New Year's happiness next week. But I hope everybody has a really good Christmas and that you enjoy the new episodes that are going to come out that are going to be a little spin. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show. Okay,